Good morning to all of you.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good
Good morning,
morning.
sir.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. So in the previous class, we were seeing about the vocationalization of education, and in particular, we have discussed the NEP 2020. That what NEP says about the vocationalization of uh, education, and wherein we have seen that NEP 2020 talks about the vocationalization of education since school education up to the higher education, because it identifies that there is a serious need of developing skills, empowering the students for making them better suited in the industries, in the uh, different sectors where they can get employment opportunity. So that was the philosophy, and uh, based on that they have recommended that there must be some vocational input throughout the educational levels, and especially during the secondary education, that is a 9 to 12, there should be a serious effort made for the vocational education. However, when we have discussed that, we have also seen the NEP also identifies the effort made by the previous policies, like that the education policy of 86, 68, and even the 92 that we had as a policy, as a small modification of 86, because it was not a full-fledged policy, it was just a amended form of the 86 policy, together with the some of the point of uh, uh, program of action. Okay, so that was that. Even when we see the 2020 policy, we have also seen that they have also suggested some of the steps that we have already discussed. So in this series, today we will see the recommendations of Education Commission, that is the Kothari Commission 1964 to 66, and we will see that what are their recommendation, especially to the vocationalization of education system. Okay, so lot of discussion we already had about the Kothari Commission on a different issue, because we know that the Kothari Commission itself is a very comprehensive document. So on the some of the issues, like issue related to the secondary education, like that we had already discussed in this semester also, and in the previous semesters also we have discussed about the Kothari Commission, and hopefully you must have downloaded the Kothari Commission report that I have sent you in the previous semester, and hopefully I hope that you must have undergone through the document. How many of you have undergone through the document and have seen that what the document says about the vocationalization of education? Can somebody tell me?
ये सर मैंने भी किया है.
So you have seen. So what is there in the report?
Giving importance to the vocational efficiency
Vocational efficiency. Okay. Then
and importance to the मतलब vocational education को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा implementation किया जाए practical वैसे.
हाँ वो तो है, बट they have started the vocationalization of education section, that is in the section 15 of part 3rd, because the whole document is in the 4 part. So 3rd volume 15th chapter में they have discussed, and they start with a logic prevalence, what is the situation all around the world and why it is recommended to vocationalize the education system. They have quoted some of the data also. Surikant, acha, so thank you. Anybody else apart from the Surikant? Damodar?
हेलो सर.
सर
हाँ, yes.
सॉरी सर, नहीं मैंने नहीं गया.
अच्छा
नहीं
ठीक है, it's
देखा.
okay. Anybody else? Okay, कोई बात नहीं.
सर
हाँ बोलिए.
हाँ सर सर वो बोल रहे थे कि वोकेशनलाइजेशन जरूरी है, क्योंकि मतलब प्रोडक्ट नेशनल इनकम जो प्रोडक्टिविटी के लिए वो कुछ बोले थे, ऑब्जेक्टिव बोले थे क्यों वोकेशनलाइजेशन जरूरी है करके. एक बोले थे कि नेशनल इनकम के लिए, मतलब
नेशनल इनकम को
प्रोडक्टिविटी को
इंक्रीज करने के लिए.
इंक्रीज करने के लिए.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that was the also one of the thing, but we will see here systematically that what is the Kothari Commission talks about the vocationalization of education. Okay, so just wait a minute. PDF ओपन नहीं हुआ. कौन सा PDF ओपन नहीं हो रहा है संध्या? The document which I have sent last semester, or which PDF you are talking about?
ये सर गूगल क्लासरूम का जो पीडीएफ है ना,
वो ओपन नहीं हो रहा है.
वो पीडीएफ नहीं सर.
वो डाउनलोडिंग में प्रॉब्लम होगा, बिकॉज इट इज अ ह्यूज फाइल. इट मे नॉट बी डाउनलोडेड प्रॉपरली, दैट्स व्हाई इट मे बी क्रिएटिंग प्रॉब्लम. ओके, so re-download it once again. Try to re-download, and if there is again a problem, then you talk to me. So see, when you will find that the chapter 15th of Education Commission 64-66, the report starts with a quote: the success of industrialization depends to a large extent on an adequate supply of skilled manpower. Because they identify that when we see that the 64-66, it is a time when very small time has passed after the independence of India, and during that time you will find that several industries were being established, several companies were being established in the India that time. That this is the time, and during that time, even when you will find that in the Jharkhand, HEC, that is the heavy engineering corporation, was established, because that company was visualized to establish as a mother of all company. Means because to establish any company, they required some of the machineries is required, infrastructure building, for the building the infrastructure, machineries are required. So from where those machine will come? So in order to manufacture those machine required for establishing industries, one company was established in the Ranchi, Jharkhand, that is a Heavy Engineering Corporation, HEC, and together with that, in the different part of a country, so many factories, companies were being established to fulfill. First, the thing is that to fulfill the need of the country, because the country was dependent on other countries for some of the basic requirements even. Okay, and for supplying the electricity, thermal power stations was being established, and for supply of the steel, BHEL is established. Even the Bokaro steel plant is established. Even in the that is the Jamshedpur factory was expanded. So like that, this was the time when the India got independence. So the industrialization process was going on in the country. But the one of the requirement of the industrialization was that to work in the industry, the skilled manpower is required. And in the latter part we will also discuss that they have categorically suggested that what kind of manpower is required and what should be their educational training. So categorically they have suggested, that we will be also seeing. So it was identified that we are establishing a factory or a company, but we don't have a adequate skilled manpower, and without the adequate skilled manpower, industrialization process cannot sustain. Because when we see that HEC that was established with the help of Russia, Rus, that time it was a USSR, now it is a Rus. So it was established with the help of Russia, and that time we were lacking of the engineers, and that's why in order to support and sustain the company, some of the engineers were coming from the Russia and they were employed here, because we were not having the adequate number of engineers to run those factories, those who are having the idea and knowledge about those factories. So we have brought them here and they were staying here, and that's why the factory was running. But by that way we cannot sustain any company. So that's why it was identified that industrialization, success of industrialization will depend on the supply of a adequate skilled manpower. Okay, and the wealth and the prosperity of a nation depends upon the effective utilization of a human and a material resources. Because the population of India at that time was also huge. Nowadays we are bigger than that, but that time also it was not like that. The youth population or altogether population of India was a very low. It was also huge, and in the several discussions we have seen that human can only be a resource, can only act as a resource, as a productive member, when they will be educated, when they will be trained. If they are not trained, if they are not educated, then they are not a productive member. And any country should use the human resources available and the physical resources available for the development of a country. So this was the one of the very strong reason that why vocationalization is very much required in a country like India, because we have to go a long mile, and for that we have to establish industries and companies and factories. For that we require a skilled manpower. side by side the population the country was having, that also needs a opportunity for the livelihood, the earning opportunity, and they also needs to be trained for becoming a resource. So this was one of the identified reason that why the vocationalization of education is very much essential and very much required. The other thing is that since the industry is being established, so they also have a requirement. They need a appropriate trained person, okay, at a different level. Here you will find that there is a word like the adequate scale and the required level of a quality, that we will be seeing in the next part of this discussion. Because but very briefly here we can also see that industry also require a skilled manpower at a different level, like that a supervisor, like that the foreman, those who are working at a front, like that the engineers, like that the managers, okay. So these are the different scale and a level of a trained person that a company or that a factory requires. So that was the very strong necessity that was pointed out by the Kothari Commission. But it is not like that we have not made effort, because the Kothari Commission submitted their report in 1966. But it was not like that till the 66 we have not made any effort for making available the manpower, making available the appropriate skilled manpower to the factories or a company. Right after just independence, India, just before the independence also, there is a body agency was established like a All India Council of a Technical Education, which still exists, to look into the matter of the technical training program. However, it is not very much linked with the secondary education, which is our main focus of discussion. But it will be always better to see the historical development, that how we have proceeded from there. We have the then government, that is the British government, has established All India Council of Technical Education, because at that time also Britishers were also working on the industrialization process, because they were also requiring so many of the things in order to run the governance. So they have established that, and just after the independence, India government has constituted a committee on scientific manpower committee, means to look into the matter that what is the need, what is the demand, what are the area where the scientific manpower is required, and how we can fulfill those requirements. And after that, in the 56, the government of India again constituted engineering personnel committee. It was related to the undergraduate course of engineering and technology. So that what are the different areas and what are the requirement, what are the supply, and how we can fulfill the requirements. So that committee has been constituted to look into the matter. In the 61, two committees was constituted. One committee to look into the research and the postgraduate study, because whenever we talk about the postgraduate study of any discipline, it is linked to the research work also. So to look into the research and innovation, because that was also very much required, another committee was constituted, and side by side in the 61 itself, Apprenticeship Act was also constituted, because the person who are getting training either in the ITI or in the polytechnics or in the undergraduate program, they need a place where they can do a apprentice. So to regulate the whole process of regulate and to standardize the apprenticeship process, Apprenticeship Act was brought out in the 1961, and at that time we know that India has got just independence from the British rule, and at that time we were not having a sufficient resource in terms of a trained persons also, and in terms of a finance also, in terms of a expertise also. So we were just budding up. It was just like a newborn baby. So India has approached a different country and organization for the help, and India got help from the UNESCO, USA, USSR, that is the Rus, West Germany, Colombo, like that, and they have helped with the manpower, technology, and a finance and a machines also. When you will find, go to the any very old institute, you will find that there are several machines that has been donated by the USSR and the USA. I remember when I was in the RI, there was one lab for the technical education. Okay, so in that lab I find that so many machine that was used for the training, okay, like a machine repair and so many things that was donated by the USA, because the logo of the USA was put there. Now that all the machine become useless, and now it is even not a part of a teacher training program, so that has been sold out. Very recently, it is a last year I think they have sold that. So that thing, even the RI, when we see the RI, in the establishment of a RI, so many resources from a US and USSR has been invested. So that was the situation. So in order to come up with the existing situation, the committee has did a baseline research work, because baseline research work is very much necessary in order to come up with the existing situation. Means if you want to move from what is there and what you want to suggest for the enhancement and improvement. The committee observes that despite a repeated exhortation, it is unfortunate that still it is a widely felt of vocational education at a school level is needed, because a vocational education at a skill level was inferior from the other education. Like the other education means the education in science, social science, humanities, like that. It was inferior. And the fact was, which is identified by this document committee, say that those who were unable to complete the general education. The general education means education in science, social science, humanities, and a language. For sake of example, BA or a BSc, +2 in science and arts, like that. Suppose that science, for sake of example I am talking about. So some student has taken admission in +2 science or a +2 arts. They were unable to complete those education. So the parents said that you are unable to complete the education, what you will do? So better to go for some training, so that at least you will be able to earn your livelihood. Like that, I am not joking, I am telling very seriously. Like that, the trend that now we are having, that if you are unable to get employment in any field, we find that okay, it's better to do the B.Ed, and somehow you will get an employment opportunity. So this is the situation, and that was the situation for a vocational education at that time also, and that's why it was felt inferior to the other education, like a B.Ed is also felt inferior to other education. Like suppose that someone is pursuing engineering and you are pursuing B.Ed, then B.Ed is felt as a inferior to that, and it is identified by the Justice Verma Committee also report. It is not like that I am talking. You will find that earlier the B.Ed was of 2 years. We know, sorry, it was 1 year, and the integrated course was only being run in the regional institute and some of the institute, very few, you can count on the fingers. 4 RI was running, and to best of my knowledge 2-3 institute I was knowing. One institute was Prarambh in the Haryana, Jhajjar, and 1-2 institute was there. So 4 RI and 4 again you can tell that other institute. So total 8 or 9, or better to say that the 10 institute was running the 4-year integrated course. But there was a lot of malpractices in that. We were knowing that only the B.Ed was the matter of a buying degree, paying money and buying degree. Still it is happening in some extent, and the quality was very poor. And these all are not my word, it is the word of the Justice Verma Committee. And actually the Justice Verma Committee has first suggested that the B.Ed should be made of 2 years, and there should be an introduction of integrated courses in teacher training program. They have first suggested, Justice Verma Committee report, and then all the things happened, because people were finding that B.Ed क्या है, B.Ed कुछ नहीं है, ऐसे एडमिशन कर लो, 2 साल के बाद you will get a certificate and you will get somewhere teaching job. So it was a inferior. Even still people also find it is a inferior. So that was the situation. Vocational education was suppose inferior to the other courses. Even I find that nowadays also ITI is suppose that the inferior of other thing. Even the vocational dedicated vocational courses at a secondary level is also there, but you won't find in any school. Do you know any school who is offering the vocational courses? You won't find. Even you won't. I think that you are not knowing that we have a secondary school curriculum for vocational education also. And many of us, we don't know that NCERT works for the vocational education also. And like that, the RI, there is a one constituent unit of a NCERT that is known as a Pandit Sundar Lal Sarma Institute of Vocational Education, that is in the Bhopal. Why we don't know? Because we think that all those things are inferior to the mainstream, sorry, not mainstream, because this is also part of a mainstream, other education like a science, social science and a humanities. So we find that it is a inferior, and that's why we have not taken effort. It has been not popularized, and the ultimate thing is that people are not being trained, industries are not getting appropriate manpower, and the employment is increasing. Because employment is that not only that getting a government job, it may be based upon the work in the non-governmental sector also, okay, or the entrepreneurship we can also do. And a lot of people have did the entrepreneurship and they have reached to a milestone. And several times I used to say about the story of a Lijjat Papar. Lijjat Papad is established by a group of women, not it is a women, group of women, those who are illiterate, they don't know how to write their name, and now it is an international brand. So it is a kind of a entrepreneurship. Okay, so that was the basic major observation of the committee. So the committee says a concrete effort is needed by the both government and industry, because industry has to also come up. Okay, both government and industry through enlightened wages policy, means you have to make a reform in the policy perspective also, because suppose that I am a trained but there is a bad service condition in the factory, is not very good service condition, then I will be demotivated, I won't take courage to go there, or you have a long working hour, it is not very much conducive. So like that this also needs to be worked. Vocational guidance, that also needs to be worked, means at a school level also you have to counsel the student that what are the different vocational opportunities are available apart from the mainstream vocational opportunities, and for those vocational opportunities what are the different requirement is there, what are the different courses are there, that also needs to be worked out. And government also needs to work on the education of a public opinion, and they have to promote the skilled craftsmen and technicians. One thing here, it was a very right observed by the committee, which is still very much relevant, that is the vocational guidance, because we know that the interest of a person, every child is a different, their even ability is also different, even their background is a different. Suppose that my parent is able to support me, so I have completed the degree up to higher education, but what will happen if my parent is not able to support, so I will not get education, I will not get employment opportunity, I must get. So the alternate way, what are the alternate way? As per the need, as per the demand, as per the interest, as per the socio-economic condition of the child, what will be the appropriate field where they can go, because if you will not plan at a school level, it is a very difficult to develop. So suppose that my father or my family is not able to support me financially for pursuing an engineering education, and I have thought no, I will become an engineer, but parents are not able to support, so what will happen? Sometime I will go and collapse. So it will directly hamper the career of the child, or I am unfit for the engineering, but I will pursue somehow the engineering, I will try somehow for getting into the engineering field, that it will ruin the career of a child. Sometimes I find that so many students, they are unable to get in the medical field or engineering field, and they spend 3, 4, 5 years in preparing, and find that 4 years is the course duration. And I have seen even my classmates also, they have spent 3 years for preparing the engineering entrance and for preparing for the medical entrance. One person I know that he has spent 6 years for getting into the medical. Ultimately he could not, and he has not admitted himself in any course. So he is just +2 degree holder. Okay, so these are the things that is a point of guidance and counseling at a right and appropriate stage of a children. That was identified by the Kothari Commission, and still it is lacking in the majority of a school. You just tell me in which school you find that there is a guide, a counselor who will give the vocational guidance. Do you find any school?
No, sir.
To best of my knowledge, where I studied, there was no. In my hometown, in no school, such counselors are there. Even in Bhubaneswar, when you will find, this is the capital city of Orissa, private school they used to have, and not all the private school, that is the so-called the international and big schools, they used to have. DM school that they used to have, and some of the KVs they used to have, but in the all KVs they don't. In the majority of the KV also, they are on the contract basis, not a full-fledged faculty is there. So still the problem is prevailing because we are unable to give a counseling to them, and that's why they are not able to choose the appropriate vocation and the appropriate vocational courses. That is the one of the observation of Kothari Commission, and that's why they suggest that there is a immediate urgent need of a vocationalization at a different level. They are not saying at a, that we will see in the latter part. I think today we won't be able to come there, but there we will go. And this document also identifies that the school education should introduce children to the work of world and understanding the science and technology. Work of world observes means that from our childhood they must be introduced to or exposed to different kind of a work, so they will develop a positive attitude. Otherwise they think that carpentry or the leather work, okay, or the other things, even the electricians, are not a respectable job. It is not a respectable job, they think so, and that's why the children finds inferiority to enter in those jobs. And sometimes what happens, they find inferiority to enter in those jobs because it has been established as an inferior to other job, so they don't want to enter, and they are unfit for the higher level skilled job. So they are unfit to that and they don't want to enter here. So one of the thing may be that they must be exposed to the world of work, so that they will develop a positive attitude, and the same thing is expressed in the NEP 2020, because when they suggest that the vocational education will be part of education, integrated part of a education system, the one of the philosophy behind that is that they should develop a positive attitude. And the second thing they talk that the world of science and technology is changing at a rapid steps, so that the curriculum, the mode of arranging the vocational education should be reviewed, revised at a regular interval. Okay, so other things are also there, but due to the time constraint we will discuss about all those things in the next class. If you have any question, you just ask me. We will have a one question answer session. I find that one message is there from Sasmita that sir SUPW and vocational education same है क्या? SUPW that was introduced at a school level. When I was a student at a secondary level, I have also studied that. It is a part of a vocational education. To introduce vocational education, it is a part, yes. So you can't say that it is the same, because vocational education is broader concept. Okay, but the SUPW that was introduced, it was a part of the vocationalization of schooling, because therein we have been taught about how to make a pickle, how to make a papad, how to weave some sweaters like that, and so many things we have learned. How to make a broom like that we have learned. So it is a part of a vocationalization of school education. Okay, yes.
Hello, sir.
Anything else?
Sir, in
yes,
this Kothari
please.
Commission report 1964 to 66, the यहाँ पे मतलब टेक्निकल एजुकेशन को ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंस दिया गया है, मतलब बाकी सबको मतलब जैसे कि एग्रीकल्चरल हो या फिर आर्ट एंड क्राफ्ट्स हो, उसको छोड़ के टेक्निकल एजुकेशन में ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंस दिया गया है, मतलब पर्सनली लगता है।
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है कि टेक्निकल एजुकेशन को ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंस दिया गया है. देयर इज वन सेक्शन वेयर आई विल डिस्कस. I was talking about the skilled manpower and the vocationalization at all level, different levels. When I will talk about that, then it will be more clear to you, because I have not covered whole Kothari Commission in one class. But before that also I will tell you, actually they have categorized the skilled manpower in a 4 category, and there is a category of very baseline skilled, like an electrician, like that. Then the higher level is those who are with a polytechnic and ITI degree. Okay, then the next level is the people with graduate in engineering and technology, and then the highest level is a postgraduate and a research level. Okay, so 4 level they have talked about, and they have emphasized that each level is having a equal importance, because suppose that you are a graduate in a technology, so we need an engineer, but we also need a people, those who will work at a front level, technicians, skilled technicians. Okay, so all are required and all are emphasized here. If you want to have a better understanding of this whole scenario, that is the vocationalization of education system, you have to read some of the chapter from the volume 2 and some of the chapter from the volume 3, because when you will read the chapter 15 from the volume 3, you will find that it has been referred chapter 7, 8 and 9 of volume 2. So altogether 4 chapter you have to read in order to understand this holistically, that we will be discussing in the coming day. I will take 3 classes for the Kothari Commission. 1 class today is over, and 2 more classes I will be taking, so that whatever they used to talk about the vocationalization in the different chapter, that will be clear. So this is for now, whatever the queries you raised, but in the coming time when I will be discussing about that, it will be more clear to you. Okay.
Hello sir. सर एक क्वेश्चन डाल ली.
हाँ, यस प्लीज प्लीज. हाँ, अच्छा, ठीक है ठीक है. क्वेश्चन देख लेता हूँ मैं. जस्ट हाँ, सर व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ डेमोन्स्ट्रेटिव मल्टीपर्पज स्कूल? अच्छा ठीक है, मैं बता दूंगा. Acha, yes, there was one question from Biswajita also. Yes, I think you were.
Sir, actually the question was related to NEP 2020 on vocational education. Okay, sir.
Hmm.
Sir, actually, sir, it is no doubt that it is very helpful for the students studying vocational education at sixth at primary level. But sir, in other word, this will distract the poor children, and sir, this will definitely become a great barrier for the young generation. It will definitely distract the students who are, they will become self-earning at a very small age, and this will distract them for pursuing higher education.
Hmm.
So, sir, this is a great barrier of this NEP 2020. Then how it is a good recommendation?
अच्छा, ठीक है, ठीक है,
Yes,
ठीक
sir.
है, ठीक है, ठीक है. I understood your question. So both of the question I will reply, and for today I will not allow other question because I have to go for the B.Ed class also. But these two question I will respond. And if there is another question, you can ask in the next class also. So first question, which is very briefly, I will reply to Chinmay, that what is the DM school, demonstrative multipurpose school. See, the basic philosophy of establishing the demonstrative multipurpose school was that NCERT, you must be knowing that when you will see the logo of the NCERT, it has a 3 swans, and 3 swans represent the 3 focus area of NCERT. The one is the research, another one is the training, and the third one is the extension. Research means you are understanding that they will research in the different area of high school education. Okay. Training means whatever the outcome of the research, on that outcome they will train the teachers. Because suppose that I did one research today. Okay. Some outcome came. So how the other teacher who will know, those who have got the B.Ed some year back. Suppose that you have completed B.Ed. So how you will know? So for that training, in service training. And the another one is the extension, means whatever they are researching, that should be extended, that we will. So in order to have a research, they need a laboratory. So the DM school is a kind of a laboratory for RIE, where they experiments the effectiveness of the different approaches of a teaching that is there, or that they are adapting from the foreign, or that they are designing in-house. So it is a multi-purpose school. It is not only for the research, it is not only for the extension, but the other things are also there. So that's why the multi-purpose word is made. And the demonstrative means the demonstration and the research and extension of the activities going on in the NCERT will be carried out there. So that is the prime focus of DM school. And this multi-purpose school is not RIE is having. Some of the old universities are also having the experimental school, like a Delhi University. You will also find a experimental school attached with the education department, and some other universities are also having. Even you will find the Jamia is also having a school. Even you will find the AMU is also having a school. So some of the old even the BHU, they also have a school. So the old universities and institutions, they have a school. Okay. And now come to the
Yes,
your question, Viswajita, that you are talking about that since the vocational input will be given at a very early stage, so they will be matured at an early stage and they will start earning, so it
yes,
will
sir.
act as a hindrance. I will like to say 2-3 things. The one thing is that vocational education that will be at
Yes, sir.
elementary level, and because they used to talk a secondary from 9 to 12. Now there is no secondary and a senior secondary, all are secondary, 9 to 12. So before that the elementary means 1 to 8. Whatever the vocational education input will be there, it will be only to generate the interest in the different vocation and to develop a positive attitude. the fine skill in those vocation will not be emphasized. It is not like that suppose that carpentry or a electrician or a motor repair mechanic is there, so that a skill will be developed that you can act as a independent electrician or an independent carpenter. So because now we find that their father is a carpenter, it is a low grade job, my father is a DM or a collector, so I am higher in hierarchy. But this type of feeling should be minimized. My father is a professor, her father or his father is a peon or a clerk. So this type of the feeling that should be minimized.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for that it is, and the fine motor skill will be in the higher stage of a learning. Okay. Okay, so I think we should stop here. It is already 9:57, so I have to go for the B.Ed also. So shall we stop here, and whatever the remaining questions are there, or Biswajita, you require a more clarification regarding that.
Yes,
also,
sir. Actually, it was
just
a
remind
criticism,
that-
and the criticism was on the Hindu newspaper. It was published in that paper.
Okay. So, okay, Biswajita, you do one thing. When I will start class in the next
sir.
day, you just remind me. So I have also not
Yes, sir.
went in the detail because of the time constraint. So you just remind me.
Yes, sir.
I will discuss about
Thank you,
that.
sir.
Okay. Okay. So I think.
Thank
okay.
you, sir.
Thank you. So thank you for being with me. Have a nice day. Thank you.